If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener,
Okay.
yes, dear listener.
This is the last track, I believe, on the album. Let me just pull that up just to make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Believe. Yep. Okay. And let's see, the homie Mojo, DJ Mojo, has something to say to us. He speaketh. One thing about this song, if you listen to enough Savatage, you will discover that one of their favorite writing tools over the years is the use of callback, referencing lyrics or even just a topic that you've previously written about in a way that makes it obvious to an attentive listener that you are referencing a previous work. Metallica has used this a bit, but I don't think anybody has used it as much as Savatage. I may be mistaken, but Believe may be the first use of the callback in their catalog. Many of the lyrics after 303 in the link are a callback to the song When the Crowds Are Gone Off in their 1989 album Gutter Ballad, the second Savatage album produced by Paul O'Neill. Shoot, that stinks.
What?
Well, I thought they were gonna be referencing different stuff from this album.
Oh, and we'd be able to
so
catch it.
I was like, this is gonna be so fun.
Well, that's too.
Still good for them.
That's too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's like when the Bible authors reference other books versus reference other
Verses right there.
within the same.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Okay, dear listener, here we are. Believe by the band Savatage.
Believe. We already heard the beginning of this one. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. But there's a guy who came in here specifically for this song.
Oh, here you go.
Shout out to Sop with Snoopy, one of our first OGs. First of all, Snoopy, that's a damn lie. When you showed up, I interrupted the song. I said, "What's good, Snoopy?" I did.
Why every time I see your name, I think of mowing a lawn? I don't know.
Does Snoopy mow lawns?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because his icon is green or if he said something about mowing lawns years ago. I have to go mow my lawn and he left the stream. I don't know. Every time I see his name, though, that's all I think of is partially mowed grass.
Let's make it happen, beautiful people. Savatage, Believe. Let's make it happen. Let's make it occur.
So after all these one-night stands, you've ended up with heart in hand, child alone. On your own, retreating.
This is the kid coming out of the...
Regretful for the things you're not, and all the dreams you haven't got. Without a home, a heart of stone lies bleeding.
Wow.
And for all the roads you followed, and for all you did not find, and for all in the dark, inside the night, I hear your hopes, I feel your dreams. And in the dark, I hear your screams. Don't turn away, just take my hand.
Guy's voice is
When you
unbelievable.
make your final stand,
Unbelievable voice.
be right there, never leave. All I ask of you is believe. Your childhood eyes are so intense, like watering your innocence. But bits of string, grown-up wings, you needed. But when you had to add them up, you found that they were not enough to get you in. Here's you borrowed, and for all the tears you cried, for all the fears you had to keep inside. Yeah, I am the way, I am the light, I am the dark inside the night. I hear your hopes, I feel your dreams, and in the dark, I hear your screams. Don't turn away, just take my hand. When you make your final stand, be right there, I'll never leave. All I ask of you is believe. Yeah, I never wanted to know, never wanted to see. I wasted my time till time wasted me. Never wanted to go, always wanted to stay. 'Cause the person I am, or the parts that I played. So I thought and I planned, hope and a scheme. To the lure of a night, through the unfinished dreams. And I'm holding on tight to a world gone astray. As it charged me for years, I can't
That's how they ended the record, subhanAllah.
Well, it's a little bit confusing because when you look at this, like, there's 18 narration New York, don't mean nothing, narration to Can You Hear Me Now, Sleep, One Child, Somewhere in Time. I don't know if
I think that's probably like deluxe album, because remember he had said that they wanted to add all these narrations
Oh, okay.
to do the
Yeah.
story, so they probably did that. So
So they
Believe
ended
really
it.
would be- Yeah, because you see right there, it says it would be New York. Narration to New
Yeah.
York don't mean nothing, which is like song over here or whatever.
Oh, right
Remember?
there,
That was the
note
first
10,
song.
yeah.
That's the first song we
Yep,
started
yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, that voice, man. That voice is incredible. What an incredible...
I just want to, like, when the stream is done, I just want to get in the car and, like, just drive and listen to that kind of music. Listen to that.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, that's a...
Wow.
What a triumphant record.
Yeah.
A lot of themes about... Major theme in this song, in this thing was about broken dreams and the...
Realizing,
and the passage
like,
of time.
recognition. Yeah, and, like, looking at yourself for what's going on. Like, not hiding behind bullshit, whatever. But, like, this is who I am. This is where I've been. This is where I am now. This is where I'm going. Like, just a real, honest look on it. Wow, what an emotional song that one was. I was, like, holding in a lot of crying.
What was so emotional about that?
Well, you know that verse that talks about the one that you know, like, you remember something in your head, but then when you have to try to say it, it's like it doesn't. It's like something about bless these boys, but then he says, "May the angel that has been with me all the
My whole life long.
Yeah. Bless these boys." Like, that idea that this angel that's been with him forever, like, he wants that angel to bless his children, but like we've heard this guy's whole story, like, in the album, and it's not like, I mean, he says it. So after all these one night stands, you've ended up with heart in hand, a child alone on your own, retreating, regretful for the things you're not, and all dreams you haven't got, without a home, a heart of stone lies bleeding. And for all the roads you followed, and not for all you did not find, and for all the things you leave behind. So, like, this idea, and again, like, I said this before, I think I said it on last night's stream, we were at the ocean, and I was thinking about the time period of my life where I've been the farthest away from God, and I wouldn't say that he was the farthest away from me. I would just say that I was far from him, because, you know, if you could be sitting in the same room as somebody, but if you've closed your heart off to them, you don't feel them. And so it was like a really challenging and difficult and dark time of my life. And like I left Vinny on the beach, and I went in to go see if I could find a restroom. And when I was walking, like, there was just like, when you have that mindset that, like, everything's not really, like, real, even though it's, like, there.
Yeah.
That whole thing. Like, so I'm walking through this brightly lit thing, and there's, like, all kinds of, like, t-shirts, and they're trying to sell. It's just, like, merchandise, and it's, like, in your face, kind of. Because they really want to make the sale summer short here in Maine, so their little booth isn't open long. And so as I'm walking down, and I'm just passing all this, like, meaningless stuff, meaningless junk, really, just has the name of the beach stamped on it, essentially. I was just looking at how just, like, useless all that stuff was, and how it, like, doesn't really mean anything, with the backdrop of the channel, like this channel, and all the stories that we've heard from all the artists, and, you know, them coming to points where they were just so disgusted with themselves because of the lifestyle that they were living and how empty it was. And, you know, the concept that he brings up here, like, a bunch of one night stands have left him, like, he's got a heart of stone now. It's left him alone. And, like, obviously, if we're just animals, then it doesn't matter. One night stands are no big deal. But if we're made for something higher, and we're relationship oriented, then that makes sense that you need a home. And so, you know, Christianity, we talk about sex inside of marriage, but it's really more than just, like, a rule. It's like an understanding of human nature, that when you have a meaningful relationship and sex within that meaningful relationship, you have something really special. But these guys are experiencing it, like, you know, on crack, because they've got, like, so many opportunities. And so it fast tracks them to realizing in their 20s that this is so empty, and all I have is a heart of stone with nothing really here. But yeah, like, and when I was walking down that thing with all the merchandise, I passed somebody that I've known for years. Well, distantly known. Like, I was never close to the person, but I'm closer with their parent. And like, you know, he walked by, and, you know, he he's lost basically everything. He lost his wife, his kids, blah, 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 all that. And, you know, he doesn't live a very healthy lifestyle. And so this beach that we were at, it's kind of like the hookup spot in Maine. You know what I mean? Like in the summertime, like that's where you would go. And there's like places to drink in there and stuff like that. And I just felt like that just a total emptiness of his pursuit. And I felt bad for him, you know, like when I passed him. But I know that everybody kind of has to live their own life and kind of come to that realization. Like you can't cram that realization down somebody else's throat. Like they have to come to that realization themselves. So yeah, so like in this song, you know, he's going through all of that. But then the next part, I am the way, I am the light, I am the dark inside the night. I hear your hopes, I feel your dreams, and in the dark I hear your screams. Like that part was super, super meaningful to me. I mean, I guess without getting into too much detail, the nighttime was always pretty scary for me when I was a little kid. And, but I never told anybody I was scared. I always kept that to myself. My sister would ask me if I was scared, and I would say, no, I'm not scared, because I felt like if I said the words, yes, I'm scared, that it was going to really terrify me. So I never said the words out loud. But at night I was oftentimes very afraid. Well, I remember one night in particular where it sounds so childish. But I was crying in my bed because I was scared, and I prayed because we went to church all the time. So I knew, like, I always had like this familiarity with Jesus, with God, you know, that he was there. But I needed him closer than just like there. And I remember I prayed and I said, if you're really here with me, will you hold my hand? And I was just like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something like that. 5 maybe. I don't know. I was pretty small. And then I remember sticking my hand up into the darkness, and like for like a split second, I was like, well, what is this going to be? I mean, like, but then all of a sudden, like, I just felt like this real, like warmth, like someone was there. And it was like this odd feeling of even having your hand held, even though nobody was holding my hand, or no physical person. It was just a really crazy, like, little kid experience that always stuck with me. And I had told God too, I said, if you do this, I'll never question you. And so like when that part of the song was coming, like I hear, it just was very relevant. I just thought, you know, like for me personally, like that chunk of my life, because that was like a really meaningful night that, I mean, I remember all these years, and I don't have a good memory. So obviously in the Bible, when Jesus talks, he says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And no man comes to the Father except through me. So when it says I am the way, I am the light, I am the dark inside the night. I liked that because you've got, I am the dark inside the night. And usually we're like, people are afraid of the dark. But it wasn't, I don't know. And in the dark, I hear your screams. Like there was like a closeness there. And then obviously the next part was, don't turn away, just take my hand, which is crazy because of the story I just told about taking my hand.
Yeah.
And when he says, and when you make your final stand, to me, that was like at the end of your life when, you know, push comes to shove. And like a lot of times people think if you're a really good person, that that's what's going to make you right with God. And coming into this realization, like when you really look at yourself for who you are and you just don't hide behind any of the bullshit, you start realizing that that's an impossible dream, because we can't even, like, if we think about all the bad stuff that we've ever done, there's like a whole host of bad shit we've done that we don't even realize how bad it was. And we don't realize the effect that it had on people. Like sometimes you'll have something that really hurt you from like X amount of time ago, and finally you say something to the person has no freaking clue what you're talking about, because they don't even realize, you know, what they did. So, yeah, so that, like, just realizing that there has to be something else, like, and knowing that that something else is Jesus and the sacrifice that he did, like, and him saying, so to me, it was like Jesus saying, the way and the light was saying at the end, like, when you make your final stand, I'm going to be there. And then he says, all I ask is that you believe. And people have said for like a long time, like, wow, like, why, if he's going to save you or he's going to help you, why do you have to believe to make him do that? Like, why can't he just do it? But then sometimes I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's just a simple way of explaining, because it's not like he's just going to say, like, there is this sort of like, we're on the same team thing. And so, like, maybe that's God's way of explaining to us in a way that we would understand that, because belief happens when you're there. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that we keep trying to make God a philosophy. I was in the shower and God was like, be careful you don't turn Jesus into a philosophy. Don't ever talk about the doctrine of the atonement. Jesus went to the cross. Don't talk about, like, especially as a, in the Western world, because of, Aristotle and Plato or whatever, Westerners truly believe that their mental cogitations are the best way of apprehending reality. Mm-hmm. But the closest thing I could say as to why God would say believe in me would be for the same reason that Billy Corgan would say believe in me. Right? So in the Smashing Pumpkins song, it's believe in me as I believe in you. When he's saying believe in me, what is he saying? Is he saying, like, yes, mentally acquiesce to a bullet point groups of doctrines? No. What he's saying is, believe everything that I'm saying to you right now. We will crucify the insincere tonight.
Yeah.
Right? We'll offer up the night together. We'll make things right. We'll feel it up. Believe everything. Like, believe in me. So, when Christ says believe in me, it's what every relationship requires that for it to function. Any organic, real relationship requires that belief. Or when I tell my sons, I believe in you, I'm not acquiescing to a bunch of bullet points about them. I'm saying, you're going to come through. We're depending on you for this, and I know you're going to come through for us. So, when Jesus says believe in me, he's saying, oh, you got a bad call at work? Believe in me, I'm going to carry you. Oh, you got a bad doctor's visit? Believe in me, I'm going to carry you. Everything's a wreck, it's over, everybody's getting crucified, I'm going to carry you. And, for a person who, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she basically said, everything for you is this cognitive here, facts here, data here, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, me and this person were at war, so I was like, typical. But that's what the Lord said to me. Like, I ended up having to apologize to that person, because the Lord was like, your spirit was off here and here, and this warning that she gave, although in the moment you disregarded it, be careful.
A warning?
Well, she wasn't looking at it as a warning, but it was something that God really glommed on, because she was talking about everything's cognitive, facts here, numbers here, measurable there. Like, she's like, and that was used to get me to be like, yo, be careful that you don't just turn this into a group of
numbers,
because that's not your inner life. I don't relate to God in my inner life that way. But so it's very fascinating. But like, at the end of the day, to me, like, that's what the whole thing. Like, I love philosophy, obviously. I love science, obviously. I love, like, looking at things from all different kinds of perspectives. But at the end of the day, man, it just comes down to the fact that I've known this dude my entire conscious life, and he's stuck by me my entire conscious life. And I ran away from him. I tried to do everything I possibly can, and he stalked me and hunted me down every single time. And I know that I fuck up so much, so often. But it's like you said, where the Bible says, I write these things to you so that you won't sin. Then the next line is, but if we do sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous. Subhanallah. And that's it. That's what when I say I believe in Jesus, I'm banking on the fact that when the prosecutor puts the giant fucking list of failures and whatever of mine out there, I'm going to look at that list and say, holy shit, man, you got a really good case. The problem, I got a really good lawyer, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even just that, like, it's also that friend who refuses to leave your side. Like, there is something beautiful, like all the horrible and the terror and the violence that we went through. There is something beautiful about, you got an entire block of people coming after you, and your best friend knows that you guys are outnumbered and it's going to go really bad, and he stays next to you. There's something really beautiful about that. And that's that's been my experience with Christ. I've experienced it, whether I'm right or wrong, I've experienced that, and I've experienced unconditional love, and there's a Troy, that movie Troy and Agamemnon was going because the guy Hector's brother was out there knocking out like the prettiest girl in the land, and Agamemnon was like, "Yo, okay, I'm gonna kill you." So he challenges him to a duel, and so Hector, as a big brother, is watching his little brother, and he's like, stay to the right and do your best. And so Agamemnon starts beating the crap out of this guy's little brother, and Hector's just staying there, and Agamemnon's about to kill him, and then Hector jumps in, and is like, "I can't let you kill my brother, bro." And the guy's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? These are the rules. This is a duel." He's like, "Yeah, I know those are the rules, but I can't let you kill my brother, bro. I can't do that. You got to go on." And I'm like, that is Jesus. Those are the rules. By all the rules, I should be dead 50 times over. And so many times he showed up and said, "Yeah, I know he's wrong. I'll handle him myself, but you can't touch him. You can't touch him." And he's been like that with me forever. And all the philosophizing, I can argue, I can do all of that. But in my inner life, I've truly and really experienced that so many times. And so it's just that for me. You know what I'm saying? It's that's what he means when he says believe.
Mm.
Like for most of us, it's not even about science or evolution that keeps us from believing. It's just plain old, we've been disappointed too many times, and we don't want to believe something that's too good to be true. So we're all orphans in the orphanage.
Yeah.
Holy shit, what a band, what a song. This song is an actual 10 for me.
Oh, me too.
What a crazy record. We do have another song, so like we're talking like the show's over. The show's not over, but I just wanted to camp out about this record, Mojo. Holy shit, I love the DJ stream so much. I love all the new bands that we get introduced to, but I gotta say, man, this is one of the best experiences I've had on the channel, just because I found a singer who is unbelievably moving to me, and I think if we listen to this guy, you'll get some great ideas too, like sonically. That's another thing that popped into my head. I'm like, yo, I've been having her listen to a lot of girls. Like this guy, like there's just so many avenues that just opened up. Mojo, everybody type 22 for Mojo. Just really, really good record. Like I said, don't go anywhere because we got more to come. But to close out this record this way is unbelievable. 10. That album overall for me is a 9.8 album overall for me. Really, 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 really good writing. Unbelievable writing. Sarcast says emotions and thoughts are separated for a reason. You can spend your whole life trying to find the words for all you feel and you won't be able to do it. Yeah, that's why the guitar has always been such a gift to me, and why I relate to it as a very close friend. That guitar helps me say things that I can't say. Helps me say a lot of things that I cannot say, that guitar. So yeah, for real. All right, guys.
We'll be right back.
Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.